everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Devil's Advocate Trades Edition. So today we're going to go condo because I work in condo, and we're going to talk about the tribunal in Alberta that's coming out, rolling out. So here's the thing. First of all, there's not a whole lot of fucking information in regards to it, if we're going to be super honest. I did go to a luncheon that was put on by CCI. The speakers were SVR and McLeod Law. They talked about tribunal, chargebacks, voting, and more. I also got an opportunity to sit with with a good friend of mine who owns her own firm, her own condominium firm. And as a condo manager, a lot of the lawyers were reaching out to condominium firms and going over what's happening right now, because we thought we had time for this tribunal before it rolled out, and apparently we didn't. So the Condominium Dispute Resolution Tribunal, or CDRT, expected to begin accepting cases in April of 2026. So that's fast, because that's like, tomorrow, or actually I should say today. It's pre-recorded. Jurisdictions will be limited to start. So monetary sanctions, including whether the issuance of the sanction was compliant with the regulations, access to documents, annual general meeting and special meetings, and 1 year review of 1 year review of jurisdiction is planned. Let's see. So limitation period must apply within 1 year of the date of the party making the application known, or ought to have known of the dispute. Filing fees, $150 to file the application, $350 if matters proceed to adjudication, $150 for 4 hours block if mediation exceeds the 4 hours allowed. Chair can waive some or all of the application fee based on judicial hardship. I mean, we are in uncharted territory. Fuck, words are hard today. We are in unprecedented times, or in uncharted territory, on the basis of what's going on, not only with the Alberta government, but just in general. There's a lot of craziness happening. So that's fucking super real comment to make. Annual service fee is $9 a unit, including parking and storage units, to start December 31 of 2026. Anyone living in a condo, get ready for your fees to go up, because anything that's titled is going to be a cost of $9. Okay, so if you got titled parking, if you've got titled storage, if you've got titled mailboxes, you personally have titled, that's $9 a pop. Pop. So fees are going to go up. Yeah, it's fun for us, because nothing says I'm fucking poor like adding more money that I need to pay to the government. You know what I found out? So fun fact here. Let's pause for a second. So as I've stated before on my podcast, I sit on the board for the Association of Condominium Managers, okay, and which is known as ACMA. And so I wanted to, reach out to our, I guess I'll call them like a parent association, because they were the original, like they're the OG here, is ACMO. So that's the Association of Condominium Managers for Ontario. And so for you Ontario people listening, shout out to ACMO, because they are fabulous. The two people I got to speak with, which was the chair and the vice chair, just gems. All about, like whatever you guys need, reach out to us. We all got to be able to stick together. We all got to be able to, to have these conversations, and I'm like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. So the whole reason that this started was they created a designation. Okay. So ACMO created a designation called the RCM, which is it's the Registered Condominium Manager course. It is a designation that basically says, I know how to be a condominium manager because I have studied governance and understanding of tribunal and understanding of legislation and maintenance and building. And so they understand condo at a capacity not many people do. And so they've got some pretty stellar condo managers out there that have taken the RCM. Now, Alberta has it, and it went across all of Canada. I know there's people in BC that have the RCM all the way up to Newfoundland. Okay, so that's something that says something about ACMO, of what they started and how it kind of started to move across. And Alberta was kind of the one in the West that said, let's get everybody kind of involved. And that's kind of what happened. And so there was definitely a trailblazer that lives in Alberta that really kind of put their best foot forward as they sat on the ACMA board and moved it forward. And she is just amazing. She is back on the ACMA board with me. She sits as the chair for the ACR committee. She's just a stellar human being, and I call her the godmother of condo, as it has gone around the industry to begin with. So she's been around a long time. She's not old. She's young. People are like, well, she's been around for a while. Doesn't mean anything. 20 years is a long time. But anyway, so she's been around for quite some time, and she is just a stellar human being that has just a fountain of knowledge. Super quick-witted. I love bantering with her. She's an amazing human, a great owner. Just so many nice things to say about her. However, her and I, when we reached out to ACMO, we had this really great conversation with them, and they talked to us about kind of like what they're doing. So where I'm going with this, because I fucking squirrel like an idiot, and words are hard today. I was telling them about the annual service fee at $9, and they were like, "Oh man," because they said to me, they were like, "Oh, the government's cleaning up out here. They're making like $1 a unit," and I was like, "What? Ours has it at $9." They're like, sounds a little greedy. I'm like, well, it's Alberta. So I kind of laugh because I'm like, yeah, like how many people that live in condos with all the fucking condos that are going up? Everybody's like, let's build a condo and let's go live there. Oh, well, hey, the government's extra taxing you. So if you're someone who lives in a condo, not only do you have condo fees, but let's say you live in an HOA and now you have HOA fees, but now you've got tribunal fees. And you might not ever even use the tribunal. This is going to be fun. So here's the thing, guys. I decided that I was going to put in my application to sit on the tribunal board. I want to see what's going on from the inside. I want to understand. I want to know that there's people in there that understand condo at the same capacity or more than I do. I want condo lawyers on there. I want condo managers on there. I want people that sit in this industry to be on that board. Someone like myself is a little bit more of a wild card because I don't sit in the realm the same way. I sit more as a contractor, but I'm considered a consultant. And as a consultant, I make damn sure that not only am I a part of all of the associations that allow education for condominium, but I also sit, inside of these different realms where I'm constantly educating myself and keeping up on condominium legislation. So, that's a big thing. And so I really want to see what's going on now. Whether or not I get on the board is another story. I mean, like, it's no secret when I think of, people in the government, and it is for Service Alberta. So, I mean, there might be some fucking red tape there, which is funny because you have to go through the red tape aspect. It's what it's called. It's called like the red tape, but it's funny. The joke's funny. Anyway, just laugh. So there was that, but I just find that funny. So when I had the conversation with ACMO, they were like, you might have a little bit of a fight on your hand. Now, here's the thing. They're not supposed to be going through until, they're not supposed to be going through, this isn't supposed to be going through till December. So everyone's got some time. So I'm going to encourage everybody to go get educated about this. ACMA is working at getting webinars out because we are across Alberta. I want people in all areas of Alberta, both rural and urban, to be able to get the information they require. We're going to get some subject matter experts, so lawyers, to talk about this. Like I said, there's not a whole hell of a lot of information in regards to this. So this is kind of like a wild card. We're just kind of like baby stepping it our way through. But I think the cost associated, to me, it seems a little bit, I don't like it. I don't know how to be politically correct. I don't like it. I don't live in a condo, but I'm sure glad I don't. But I look at it and I think about where we are as a society and what's going on. And all of a sudden you want to strap on like an extra $9 a unit for maybe a possibility of a tribunal. Like it seems a little bit loose, in my opinion. So I want to be on the inside of that to see what the hell's going on. That's my story. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at with that. What else is there? Oh, ACMO. We did invite ACMO to ACR. I would love to see ACMO at ACR. If they came out, we would give them the best welcome ever. We'd be so gracious, probably set them up with a booth. We'd do whatever we needed to do to get them out here. Because you know what? Like I said, that's kind of a parent association. They are the trailblazers of the RCM and of, the associations that are now across Alberta. And if you obtain your RCM, you got a better chance if you're like, hey, listen, I'm leaving Alberta, I'm going to Ontario, I'm going to BC, I'm going to Newfoundland, I'm going wherever, they're going to recognize that. It's recognized. So it is a designation that crosses the provincial lines, which is amazing. So that's something to really look at. And so now we've asked ACMO to help support us in obtaining a grant in order to move our RCM forward. And so they're reviewing it right now. But the fact that they're like, yeah, no problem, send us a letter, tell us what you need. We'll take a look at it and see what we can do for you. Fucking speaks volumes of them. I don't know why Ontario and Alberta don't get along, because I think Ontario people are amazing. And my brother lives out there and he's lovely. So people always say this shit. And I'm like, you know what? I don't see it. I have family in Toronto. I have family in Windsor. I have family all over the friggin' place in the GTA area. And I don't hear it. I don't hear people talk shit about Albertans. I'm sure they do. I mean, I see it online, all the crazies come out there, but I don't see it. So yeah, that's where it is. So, but I will say this, which was super funny. The president of ACMO was like, yeah, I love talking condo land. And I'm like, what did you just say? And he's like, condo land. And I'm like, condo land. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, that's fantastic. Condo land. So then I was like, we should just call it condo world, And like when I sit and I think about condominium in its full capacity, like it's like a Mario Brothers game. You're constantly hitting bricks, dodging things, jumping over things. It's like, it's a me, Mario. Which is funny because if you do that, it's a me, Mario. The actual Japanese saying is Itsumi Mario, which is Super Mario in Japanese. So, fun fact. Do what you want with it. Yeah. So, I thought that was awesome that he calls it condo land. I told him we should hashtag it. So, maybe we'll start doing that. Anyhow, I am quite curious to see how this tribunal is going to go. I say if you're living in a condo, you need to get loud and quickly. I'm pretty sure condo managers are going to get loud about this as well. Right now, we're just kind of waiting and looking around for it. I don't say we as in me, but I say it as we as in because I sit on an association that helps condo managers be the best they can be, get the support they need and whatnot. So it's going to be fascinating. I'm not going to lie. Now, I did talk about ACR. I'm sure we'll have something in regards to that at the ACR. So the Alberta Condominium and Real Estate Conference. Like I said, we did invite ACMO, so that'd be great. I think we are going to be talking about the tribunal. I believe we've got we always have lawyers. We have the Rapid Legal Fire panel. Everybody loves that panel. And we always get the best lawyers, and they all said yes. Yay. So returning is our regular panel, maybe a few newbies. We always want to give people an opportunity to have a chance to speak. So we do have some new faces coming on as speakers, but have been in industry for quite some time and are incredibly intelligent, are subject matter experts, and I can't wait to have them speak. This will be their first opportunity at the ACR to speak. So I'm excited for that, including me. Maybe. And what else is there? So ACR it's in June, and this is where I find it interesting because we thought we had more time with the tribunal. I thought for sure we'd have time, and then there's another association. So I'm a professional member with multiple associations, and CCI was going to have an opportunity to probably do something in October. Now, because, ACMA is comprised of many people inside of industry, the last thing we want to do is start creating problems with other people in industry, right? Like we all bring value, whether you're ACMA, whether you're CCI, whether you're COF, whatever you all bring value, right? So I do things with COF. I used to do things with CCI, but I still hold a professional membership there. And so we all kind of figured they were going to go October, right? So, and that's kind of when ACR was, but then we decided we were going to do June because to me, it looks slimy if you're both in October. I think it's tacky, right? Because then you're like, oh, it's like direct competition. Why would you compete at that point? For me, it's like we all bring value. You know, CCI is designed for condo boards. ACMA is designed for condo managers. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. And condo managers need a lot of support. They always are looking for further education. The RCM is going to be great when it gets like launched out. I'm super excited about it. So like, that's where I sit there, you know what, but I look at it as a contractor or consultant on the outside and go, you know, this is fucking hard on the wallet, even though like all of these events are great and they're fun and they're good networking events, they're good educational events. The problem becomes that it just gets hard on the wallet. And I made this comment the last time, and it does, because golf tournaments. Golf tournaments are fun, by the way. As long as they're best ball golf tournaments. If they're not best ball golf tournaments, I have a moment. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be your cheerleader, all right? You could take my hits too. If you in it to win it, bro. I'm gonna sit here and I'll be a driver, okay? I'll drive Miss Daisy around. Like, just don't even worry about it. I mean, I look the part, okay? Nobody said I was the part. I look the part. But anyways, I have so much fun at the golf tournaments. I have a lot of fun at all of the events that I attend. I don't know how many I'll attend this year. I think I said I was going to try and attend all 3, but I don't know how that's going to look depending on cost evaluation and what's going on. I kind of step back from a lot of stuff, not for any other reason than I give so much of myself that I'm just like, you know, there's that wonderful little word. It's reciprocity. So if I'm not seeing the reciprocity in some way, shape, or form with how much volunteer work I do, with how much I put into all of these associations, it starts to get a little bit draining. Of course I see benefit in everything. I'm not saying I need to make all this money, but what I'm saying is that it's a lot. And anybody who sits on a board that actually does the work, because we all know that in any board, even professional ones, you got 20% that do it and the other 80 do fuck all. And when you can find a board, even the ones that are professional, if you can find one that is a 50-50 or a 60-40, heavy with work and people that want to do stuff, fucking rare. And, you know, it blows my mind that I'm in condo associations and we've got kind of boards that kind of do that. It kind of blows my mind because I'm like, what is happening? Like, this is what you want. You want your boards to cooperate. And now you sit on one and you're not cooperating. So it gets kind of frustrating sometimes when you deal with that. For the most part, I have a interesting board. I know myself and the head of education do the majority of the heavy lifting. So we're going to have a little chat about that. Our ACMA meeting's coming up. So I'll be like, hey, listen, anytime one of you guys want to jump in, like, oh, I don't know, now, let's do that. Let's do that. So yeah, anyhow. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about the condo side of things. Now on to construction, because my podcast is called Devil's Advocate Trades Edition. Just in case you guys do. I will say that with that being said, I am doing my segment. I'm going to continue to do my segment. My co-host is Michael. Michael has been a large advocate in my corner since the beginning of my podcast journey. He is an amazing person and my amazing co-host. I roped his ass into it, but he loves it. And I love the fact that we have a male and female perspective on the segment, because it was driven by a question that I asked, women in construction, what's your experience been? I've got over 43,000 hits on it, over 5,000 or 500 comments. And it just keeps growing daily. I love it. And then there's another one where it was women in construction, what are your concerns? And that one's got over, I think we're close to 10,000 hits on it and over 100 comments. So we'll be kicking into that one. Tomorrow we will be covering, I think it's like appropriate attire on site, because there was a couple of comments that came in regards to that, Michael, and I kind of ended on that note. So that's kind of where we're going to pick up. So catch us on the segment, Hard Hats and Hard Truth, on Thursdays. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, and don't do anything crazy.